Hey, welcome back for our next video where we're going to be going over how to prep your food to win for the week. So over the next few minutes, I want you to pay very specific attention to what I say and exactly what I explain. Now, when we look at our week, we want to get honest with ourselves about our schedule because odds are if nothing is planned, it probably won't get done, right? And I think we know that when it comes to managing our busy lives professionally, personally, it can get overwhelming. So let's just take an honest look at what we can commit to and what we can't, all right? Now, what I'm gonna recommend is you either prep your food once per week or twice per week. I find success by doing this more often than not on Sundays and Thursdays. I make that work for my schedule. I commit to that, and you can do the same. At the very least, you wanna do once per week. Food prep, typically on the weekends, you're gonna usually find more time, depends on your life, okay? Now, you wanna also keep in mind, you'll be learning how to succeed when you're dining out, but in the meantime, you want to apply the same principles we talked about in the past few videos around how to structure your meals and what's in front of you, all right? Now, what we want to do for our food prep, you either want to select 1 to 2 proteins, 1 to 2 starches or carbohydrate meals, and 1 to 2 vegetable meals. You don't necessarily need to pick a fat dish because, for example, your proteins are going to be cooked in fats, you're going to be stir frying more often than not, maybe grilling as well. But let's say you cook a chicken curry, that's going to have your healthy coconut fat with it. All right, if your veggies, you're probably going to be sauteing them or at least covering them in some type of healthy oil when you bake them, for example. And healthy starches, same rules apply when you're grilling sweet potatoes, for example, or you're baking them. You're probably going to need a little bit of oil so it doesn't burn, and you could be more liberal with that since we do want a higher amount of fat in our diet. All right, so that's how we want to look at it. We either do that once a week or twice a week. I personally do once a week at least, and most lunches I'm following the principles I teach, and I'm taking clients or professional friends or personal friends out to a lunch, okay? So I know myself and understand my schedule. Now, if I'm really trying to crank down on my nutrition, that's when I'll double down and every meal will be pre-planned out. But you don't need that unless you're going for 5%, 7% body fat, which you're probably not, all right? And then we, of course, have our filler meals, those things that we eat on the go or relatively quickly with little thought, and that can be prepared fairly quickly if need be for preparation at all. So a few examples would be eggs, for example. Eggs are a fantastic example of this. You can hard boil them, you can scramble them, you can make whatever egg dish you want. It's quick, usually really simple and easy, and inherently nutritious. High protein and a good amount of fat as well. Most of that fat is nutrient dense. The second thing is going to be nuts, nut butters or nuts themselves. We don't want to overconsume, but you get the idea. Great fillers, okay? I didn't list fruit here. Remember, I'm recommending 1 to 2 servings at most. Then we have our shakes if needed. This is something you should have as a emergency, I guess you could say, but not something that you immediately go to. Real food always wins, okay? And last but not least, I'm a big fan of avocado. Guacamole is super easy. You could toss that in with your eggs just to give you some ideas. So you'll learn what works for you the more you practice and develop with your nutrition, with your food prep, with exactly what I teach with the food category. So I hope that serves you. Let's talk about what to do when we're dining out, and you'll hear that in our next video.